Hi, you're welcome back to my channel on Bam Glam DIY. Today I'll be showing you the A to Z of Vaseline jelly production business. We'll be discussing about the raw materials that we need to make this batch of production. We'll also discuss about the packaging materials, where you can get this kind of containers, or where you can also source blow cups, or generally known as local. Welcome back, and thanks for not going anywhere. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe to the channel and also click the notification bell so that you'll be notified each time I drop in any video. So there are basically two types of petroleum jelly in the market. There is this soft one, as you can see, it's very soft. It demands that when you are making use of this soft jelly, you should add less of your oil, at least divide your oil quantity into two. It's also not kind of smooth. It's not smooth at all. I believe it's locally made, if you ask me. But some persons are good enough to tell you, oh, I don't have the original petroleum jelly, which is the one I'm holding in my hand. It's very stiff. It's kind of like shea butter that is congealed together. It's very thick. The texture is better than the soft one, and you tend to make more quantity and also more quality with this hard type of petroleum jelly. So be sure to ask the person that is selling it to you, is it the soft one that you have or you are selling to me, or is it the hard one? I know that you might not have known this, but today you have found out about that in my channel. So this is actually the cost of this production. 24 blow cups is actually 1,220. 750 grams of petroleum jelly. As of the time I'm making this production, it was 900 naira. And then 1 liter of paraffin oil was 1,700. It was formerly 1,2. The fragrance I'm using, Pears, is 400 naira. Some persons may sell it 350 naira or less. And then the paraffin wax is 500 to 800 naira, depending on where you are buying it from. So all you need is a stainless or any type of heating material that you want to use. This is not basso production, so don't be afraid of any reaction. But you need something to actually melt your waxes and your jelly so that it can come into liquid form before you can pour it into your container. So you can use a stainless, any material in your house to actually do this dissolving. Please note that if you are trying out production for business in smaller quantity, bear it in mind that I think you shouldn't be calculating for profit with those small quantities. I think you should do it and give it out to your friends and families and neighbors to try it out and see how the product looks like. Because if you are planning on doing something in a bigger scale for production, you should actually aim at making a very big batch, so that at the end you can calculate your total cost of production, even the cost of you sourcing the materials, also cost how much you want to sell it, before you can subtract and see your profit. All the same, let's continue with the production and see how it goes. So what I need generally is 750 grams for this batch I'm making. Now also note that the petroleum jelly is what gives it the jelly texture, the final outcome. If it's not jelly enough, it means that the quantity of petroleum jelly in your formula is a bit low. And there is nothing wrong with you after making your production. There is nothing wrong with you scooping it out, melting it, and adding extra petroleum jelly to it. In some formulas, the petroleum jelly is actually even more compared to the amount of oil that is being added to it. If you are making it in your house, you can go ahead in that kind of ratio. If you are making it for business purpose, I think you should use this formula, because believe me, when you get to the market, you actually be seeing a lot of competition from persons who buy theirs in drum. So this is paraffin wax, which is actually the hardener we are going to use for the minimum hardness that you'll be seeing after this production. I use 130 grams of paraffin wax. If you want it harder than that, you can go as far as using 150 grams of paraffin wax, or you can also reduce the quantity of paraffin wax and increase your petroleum jelly. You will have to add all this together into our cooking material and place it on heat to dissolve perfectly before we can continue with this production. Inside this container, what I have here is 1 liter of paraffin oil. This is 1 liter of paraffin oil. It's clear, it's more like water, but it's paraffin oil. So this is what I saved here. This is what I have in this container, and I'll be using it for this production. Truth be told, the prices of petroleum jelly for the competitors you have in the markets, man, their prices is very competitive. You see them selling the 100 grams for as low as 200 naira, 150 naira. To some extent, if you calculate with those kind of prices, and then the people you supply it to, you see them telling you that the person that is supplying this to me is supplying it to me at a very ridiculous price, 50 naira for one, 100 naira for one. Men, it can actually be very discouraging, because once you calculate the current prices of things in the market now, you may actually be discouraged to even go into this production. So please don't be discouraged with the prices somebody is telling you just to make you bring down your production fee. So make your production and sell according to how you make it. If you check the current price of the original Vaseline petroleum jelly in the market now, the big container of 750 grams is almost 3,000 naira in the market. So what are we not saying? It's very profitable. Like I said, it depends on who is your target audience, the persons you want to target as your market audience. You consider if your marketing audience is willing to buy at the price you want to give them, and then if they are also accessible. So that's all for this kind of production. Also note that the best, or will I say the variety that is being sold more has fragrance in it compared to the ones without fragrance. So, but do you know the ones that do not have any fragrance actually has fragrance, but at a very minimal quantity, very less, very tiny bit quantity. That is why it's still smelling beautiful. So if you want to go in with fragrance, you can go in with Happiness. Happiness smells very lovely. It smells, just gives you that Vaseline kind of fragrance, but is tougher than Pears, the one called Pears in the market, which is the one I'm holding. For this quantity I'm making, you can make use of 30 ml of Pears. Pears is very mild, very calm. It smells so welcoming, so lovely, and very soothing, just like a newborn baby. Pears is very beautiful. So you can use up to 30 ml of Pears fragrance for this quantity we are making. If you are using Happiness, which is also good, I use Happiness sometimes. It's so lovely. Happiness is beautiful. If you are using Happiness, you have to use 15 ml of it, because Happiness is tougher compared to Pears. So these are the two varieties of fragrance you can make use of. If you want to do any other thing, you can do. If you want to add in something like cocoa butter and go in with a little bit of cocoa butter fragrance and write on your own that your petroleum jelly contains cocoa butter, just like the Vaseline has the brown type, you can actually do that if you want. So these are the types of the blow cups I'm using. These are locally made cups in Nigeria. They are called blow cups. The biggest one is 250 grams. The middle one is 100 gram, while the small one is 50 gram. All these cups, a dozen of it is not more than 514 naira. For the biggest one, that is 250 gram, single of it is around 80 naira. And you can even get it cheaper. The people I'm buying it from are people that are even reselling. If you can actually get the companies that blow these containers personally in Lagos, they will make it for you at a very good price. So far, you can buy up to 100 dozens of. So far, your quantity is actually enough. They can make it for you at a very good price. But remember that after heating all your oils together, allow it to cool off a bit, not total cool down, but let the heat reduce a bit before you start pouring it into your blue cups. Try as much as possible to source for cups that are locally made, that are very cheap and affordable, at least within the range of 50 naira for one. You should not exceed it, because the cost for you to sell this is actually very minimal. If you buy foreign containers that are being sold for 150 naira for one, how much will you be able to sell the product itself that is contained in it? That's just the ideology I'm trying to pull out here. So irrespective of your country, try and consider the cost of your raw materials and the cost of your packaging materials before assigning a selling price to it. The big cup of 250 gram in Nigerian market is sold at 800 naira, around $0.8. Sorry. For the cups of 100 grams is sold at 400 naira. For the cups of 50 grams is sold at 200 naira. Total money that is realized after selling this whole batch is 7,600 naira. If you if you do a mathematics, subtracting the cost price from the selling price, you have a profit of 2,780 naira. And this is actually large for this small test running quantity. So check out, you did a very big batch of almost 10 kg of petroleum jelly kind of quantity you realize. All the same, look at the final consistency. The consistency is beautiful. The texture is giving all it's supposed to give. If you want to increase the jelliness, like I said, you can always up your game and increase the quantity of the petroleum jelly. But you can use this formula as your base formula. If you want to alter it and add extra things to it, colors and the rest of them, please feel free to go ahead with it. Please do not add shea butter. Before you ask me in the comment section, can you add shea butter to it? If you are adding shea butter, it should be for personal use and not for company use, because shea butter has a way of separating the oils from the stearic acid once sun hits it. If it melts or the petroleum jelly liquefies under hot sun, it can actually become a little bit messy. So just leave it at paraffin wax and also petroleum jelly so that you get what you need. I hope you are enjoying this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed all the content I brought forward in this video, all the explanation that I made. If you have any questions, please ask in the comment section below, and I'll be sure to answer all of them. Please click the like button, like this video. This video demands an award. Like this video and subscribe to my channel, everyone. Thank you all for staying with me up to this moment. Have a blessed day.